Ads have changed a lot ever since the days, don't you think so? From simply broadcasting them over radio and TV to now having ads that are in line with their respective brand essence. Well, they sure did go through a lot. What? You don't have any idea what I'm talking about? Alright, geez. Let me tell you about how advertisements moved from their traditional ways. Well, the nature of creating ads have changed. This is thanks to Hollywood being the show window for other ads and product placements. How about that? From the TV screen to the big screen itself, the ads sure took a big step. Did you know that Coke chose the CAA over McCann to make its own advertisement back in 1994? Imagine that. An ad agency was not chosen to do its job. Well, instead, the client opted for a creative agency. That resulted to a competition between film studios and network providers. Think about it. With movies being used more often as a show window, someone's bound to lose support from advertising. You guessed it. But network broadcasters lost some support. This started the hunt for sponsors named Land That Brand, which is indicative of the growing relationship between economy and creatives. With all this talk about ads and product placements and even Hollywood films, don't you think what's tying them together? Well, marketers saw product placements as a better alternative for marketing. See, these placements, both in film and in TV, assume they go globally, transcend the life of a singular ad campaign. Because being global means ads get shown in different countries, cultures. Some marketers barely have control over the message. So placements here are used to expand what's been done with the money for the advertisements.
It was actually in the light of consumer scrutiny towards all of these advertising messages that led to this kind of shifting to how advertising really was. This led to brands wanting to mark their associations with entertainment media in more calculated ways. So people had already gotten so used to seeing brands in films that they started to stop caring, or that these brands were simply ignored. So basically, it stopped being effective. CEOs of brands like Coca-Cola said that you had to use an array of entertainment assets to break into people's hearts and minds. Suddenly, there was this need to capture the attentions and, more importantly, the emotions of viewers, seeing as brands wanted to offer their viewers a memorable sensory experience that ties in with the positioning of the company, product, or service. It was the emotional capital that these marketers were really seeking out from their audiences. In order for marketers to appeal to their markets better, they started to switch it up. Instead of films and other media content being the vehicle for marketers to put their products in, it became the products that were the vehicle for entertainment. What does that mean exactly? It means that instead of forcing a brand or a product into, say, a film or a TV show, brands like BMW and Chanel have gone on to make their own entertainment media that allowed their target audience to view their products in the context of the brand. So, one of the best examples of this is BMW's series of short films called The Hire. So, The Hire enlisted the help of top-billed directors and actors like Wong Kar-wai, Ang Lee, who else? Clive Owens and Adriana Lima were in the films too. Instead of placing an ad where viewers would see it like they would product placement, they took advantage of word of mouth and active consumer engagement. So consumers actively sought out these short films, with The Hire being viewed over 60 million times over the internet. And this was in 2001.
Commercialization has caused three implications to the movie industry. First is that it affects creative decisions now. So not only the directors, the producers, and the writers are in charge of creative decisions, but the marketing and sales agendas of their commercial partners are taken into consideration as well, which may dictate how the product is shown in the movie, like the angle, or if it's in slow motion, or how the actor interacts with the product. So not only do the commercial partners have a say in that, but they also have a say in the script and the scenes. And all of this is subject to the approval of the commercial partners of the movie. Second is that films have become economic multipliers now, because not only is it an avenue for product placements, but it also paves a way for tie-ins with other businesses, from toys to games to consumer electronics or even to food. So now films are extending to various paths in business, establishing a link between fiction and real-world products. Third is that it enhances the commodification of culture and consumer society. With commercial partners weighing in on creative decisions along with the movie's production team, how can we be sure that what we are consuming is meant for our entertainment and not as a means to sell us more products? What's happening now is the lines are blurred all the more as advertising uses movies as a new medium, because they know that consumers are in a way smarter. Now, they are more critical about the messages that they receive, as they are bombarded with like an average of 5,000 ad messages a day. So I guess that the advertising industry has resolved to camouflage their advertising with content. Not only that, but because of the many product placements and movie tie-ins, it promotes consumerism, as the audience are just more and more enticed to use this brand, to eat at this restaurant, to support this smartphone, just because their favorite fictional characters use it or ate it in the movie.
Now, have you ever watched the movie and noticed the things that the characters use? Like maybe you've noticed that a lot of Audis were used in Captain America Civil War, or that the phone Bruce Wayne used during Batman vs Superman is a Microsoft Lumia. This is becoming more common in Hollywood. Like consumer brands and film producers are partnering up so that in exchange of money to add up to the production budget of the film, the producers subtly incorporate specific brands into the film. The practice of product placement has broken the norm of traditional advertising in a film production. So consumer brands no longer need to rely on 30-second ads on TV, because they can now also promote through films. And promoting through films transcend the lifespan of a TV ad, because films last for a longer time. Like, you can still see the product placed on a film that was released 30 years ago or more when you watch it now. Apart from that, it helps the presence of brands become more prominent in the eyes of consumers, not just in America but also worldwide. So continuing from my earlier point, because of product placements, like it contributes in promoting American values such as consumerism and individualism. These concepts are a huge risk for developing countries that are still in the process of forming their own cultures. Because in a way, the globalization of Hollywood contributed in also disrupting the norms of cultures that are different from the Americans. Like, since Hollywood films have global appeal, it made it easier for America to indirectly influence other nations in promoting the American culture. America was able to penetrate a lot of markets because of their films, and their influence is getting stronger by also penetrating their culture onto others. If you look into the films who top the box office every year worldwide, you'll notice that a lot of these films are either superhero movies or those that are full of action and spectacle. Take, for example, the films that center on the Marvel and DC characters. Like, these films are sure to earn hundreds of millions of dollars because it appeals to a global audience. Like, these films usually tackle themes that are universal to all, so that audiences will be compelled to watch these films no matter where they are. These days, big Hollywood movie studios wanted their films to cater more to audiences outside of America, because they earn more internationally than domestically, and also to make up for rising production costs. Because of this, films rely more on CGI effects in action rather than on dialogue, so that international audiences will have an easier time in understanding the story. And this practice sometimes go beyond where movie producers choose to dumb down the content of these films to make it more accessible to global audiences in order to maximize profit.
So as mentioned earlier, if you're a fan of Clive Owen, when he starred in BMW's The Hire short films, he's very good looking, by the way. If you're familiar with those short films, it's very much just like what we can tell as the creation of ads changing now that we have to align with the brand's essence. So what does that mean? This is very marketing stuff. So basically that BMW ad, The Hire, is a very branded content. That means that films nowadays have to align with the brand's essence or have to compromise with a certain product and what the mission, the values, and whatnot of the brand is. So that's basically what BMW is, and that's how things are changing nowadays. So if you think about it, also short films come in a way that we have to make ads that are short enough, because just like me and just like you too, we have very goldfish attention span, and we just want something that's going to satisfy us in under 2 minutes or something like that. So we're gonna have to catch people's attention very well, catch their emotions and whatnot through our ads, which should be along with the brand essence. So that would mean that a brand that fails to appeal to people in say a couple of minutes or even a 30-second, they're going to fail. And that's how they're making now through films. So it's kind of like how it's changing nowadays with advertisement. So today, yeah, it's very marketing stuff. You're gonna have to align with people, connect with them through these kind of films that have to do with your products, and you're gonna have to touch them while showing your own product.
If you remember the movie E.T., the extraterrestrial alien movie, if you don't know that or don't remember it, then you're very young. You should get off the internet and, I don't know, play outside. If you clearly remember that movie, you'd probably remember that there was the Reese's chocolate, the peanut butter chocolate, famous orange package. Yeah, you're gonna probably remember seeing that every now and then in the movie. It was reported that Hershey didn't pay that much for the placement of the chocolate in the movie, but instead they paid more for advertising the movie E.T. So yeah, you can call it a marriage between Hollywood and Madison Avenue, the capital of America's advertising industry. You can't really tell the difference between these two industries anymore, advertising and film nowadays, because they have to actually compromise with content. Yeah, so that's what I said earlier, branded content. So just like products like Hershey's Reese, we're gonna have to like put it in film. So there could be possibilities that E.T. could have made a story out of Reese's or something like that. So one cannot really stand on its own anymore, and themes of stories have to be a little more universal to catch more attention, since more people globally watch your films and actually consume your products. So we can call the baby of Hollywood and Madison Avenue as brand entertainment.
The evolution of ads changed not only on how they are created, but also on how they are distributed.
This pressure marketers to create ads in a subtle manner with universal themes.
It seems nowadays that dedicated marketers need to make ads not only to affect them, but to make personal connection with them.
And that's a wrap.
Bye!